guys tell themselves bullshit stories all the time about why they don't want to approach women, or why they don't want to pursue a chick, or why they don't want to go out, or why they don't want to match with a girl on a dating app, right? Like, if she goes home with me on the first date, that means she's a 304. I mean, she's not in it for the long term. Or if she's this, or if she has this on her Instagram, guys will create bullshit narratives in their heads all the time, and they end up cock blocking themselves. Like, do I think that there are dead giveaway signs? It's like, yeah, this girl is not like LTR marriage material. I mean, marriage. This girl is definitely not LTR material, but you know what? Like, dude, maybe you need to get some reps in. Maybe you need to have a good time. Maybe she might be fun as a plate if you're not stupid and you don't get too overly attached and get your feelings and emotions into play, which frankly, most guys are not able to do that.
Way too much, man. Happens way too much.
The case being that he's not wrong on a lot of these points. He just is sadly misinformed on the actual data, or he's chosen to be willfully ignorant about where that disgust and that visceral reaction actually comes from. And that's disappointing.
Sorry to update the children thing. There's on an AI search from Grok, it says that he has talked about regretting not reading to his kids and telling stories to them. So apparently he does have kids, but there's no other details aside from that. He's never spoken about it. Nothing.
But who does it say that he's talking about his kids? He could be talking about his second wife's kids or his third wife's kids. Like, who really knows? Like, his kids? Because guess what? Stepfathers love to say those are my kids, even though they're technically not.
Yeah.
They're going to, fill in all the blanks. And so my anxieties ruled that. Now, I just had to go face them. I really just had to go face them. Now, if I got with a woman and we started having sex and I could tell she was falling in love with me, a couple in those cases, I said, well, remember, I'm not looking for a long-term permanent relationship. And the women every time would say, I know, I heard you the first time. And I realized it wouldn't do any good to say, well, you're falling in love with me. So I did realize in the context where I thought they were more into me than I was into them, if it was just really sex for me, I would call that off. I would stop it. Because I through experience, I realized the longer you stay with somebody who is falling in love with you, and if you're not seeing that possibility with them, probably better to move on to save drama later on. Now, again, I went in, faced a lot of fears. If the woman brought up, what are we? Are we monogamous? Are you seeing other people? My standard line was, until we have a conversation about being monogamous, you need to assume I'm seeing other people. And if they said, are you?
Talking about
I would say, until we have that conversation, you need to assume that we are. Even if I wasn't seeing other people, I would say that because I didn't want.
See, I don't see the problem with any of that. Like, you can do all of that stuff and still reject hoes in your life.
Them to think that by default, if I wasn't seeing anybody, I was just seeing them and I was monogamous. Because sometimes I was just seeing one person because I didn't have any other people at that time. But that was not reason enough alone to just imply maybe we were monogamous. Now, in all of this, be authentic. Don't create illusions. Now, I don't think I went into this thinking I had to announce up front, I'm dating other women. I'm sleeping with other women. I'm not going to, I don't think you need to say all that, but don't create any illusions. If the woman seems to act like, I took down my profile. Oh, I'm not dating anybody else. You can say, okay, I hear you. And I said, but I am still dating other people. I think we need to be clear.
I don't know why he says other people. Like, are you dating chicks or men or both? Like, just be fucking clear. I'm dating other chicks. I don't know. We got to partner, other people. Be specific.
Without making a big deal about it. Okay. And if it looks like they're falling in love with you, I think that may be the time to say, I like you, I enjoy you, but I don't see us being together long term. So I think it's better to move on now. So, you end it in a timely way. Be open, be transparent, but don't think you've got to spell everything out for them up front. But don't create any illusions. And if you think they're going down a certain path that you're not, either have a discussion or maybe bring it to an end. But in all of this, have fun, feel your anxieties, feel your insecurities, watch your self-limiting belief, challenge them, bring all that stuff to your inmates, your brothers here on the timeline, and just treat it as this is you doing some of the deepest work.
Why does he call his community members inmates?
I got a couple of thoughts here. So, you know, I understand what he's saying in terms of, you know what, if you're seeing her and she seems to be really into it and she wants to date you and you don't, then just break it off and let her go. Like, I understand why you would want to do something like that. I wish he would clarify the reason that he's telling guys to do this. There's a lot of guys out there, specifically guys that are dating, or guys want to be like the arbiters of masculinity. They want to say like, a real man doesn't do this. A real man tells the truth all the time. A real man, blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. Like, a man is just somebody that has double X chromosomes, right? Like, or XY. I can't fucking remember. I'm dumb. That's what a man is. All of these other implications, or all of these other shackles and chains that people societally want to put on men, that men are meant to do this, men are supposed to do that, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I don't care. Now, if there's a legitimate reason behind, hey man, this girl is kind of like nuts. Maybe you don't want her calling you. Maybe there's another girl. Maybe you're just like, you've given her too much of your private information and you're afraid she might go schizo, which is like, why are you messing around with a girl like that in the first place? But that's a story for another time. Then, like, yeah, clean break, fine. Now, at the same time, she's got agency and she can walk out if she wants. If you want to be honest with her and you want to say like, hey, my hands are clean, this sort of thing. But there's no honor in dating. Okay. Romance, romantic relationships, there's no rule book. There's no Geneva Convention. There's no like, there's no standards. There's no terms and conditions. There's no, what am I thinking of? Procedure, like standard operating procedure. That doesn't exist. Rules of engagement. There's no handbook. There's no playbook that comes to this. Every person is in it for themselves. Men are in it for themselves. Women are in it for themselves, but only women are allowed to be in it for themselves. Men have to do the right thing. And I tell guys, fuck that. You can reject that outright. Now, listen, and this may piss some people off, and I really don't care. I don't care how another man chooses to run his relationship or his relationships, as long as he doesn't put me in the middle and make it my problem, which I don't think would ever happen, because I'm never going to be the friend to a buddy's girl in the first place. Like, I see it all the time where it's like, hey, like my buddy's cheating on his wife. Should I tell her? I'm like, dude, why are you even on speaking terms with your buddy's wife? Like, we say hello. She shouldn't have her number in your phone. Like, you shouldn't know her middle name. Like, you know her as an extension through him, and that's the only contact or interaction you should ever have. So if like a guy's like, hey man, like I got a wife and stuff, but like mistress on the side or whatever, it's like, dude, none of my business. Don't make it my business. The fact that you told me that, like, I don't ever want to be put in a situation where I have to do anything or defend you or anything. Like, I don't make it my business. I don't care. I care far more about if a guy is loyal and respectful to me, if he's honest with me, if he's a good man that's good at being a man, in the way that I determine if I want somebody in my circle. I don't look at this universal set of rules that people want to put in front of us, because it's all posturing and it's all bullshit. So do what you want. And don't listen to these sycophants that are saying like, no, you need to be honest because it's the right thing to do, because it's the right thing for men to do. And men that say, because guys will often say, hey, listen, well, girls can spin a bunch of plates and they can indiscriminately date. Why can't men do it? And there's guys who'll say, well, be better than women. Like, we're men. We need to be better. It's like, dude, leave me alone. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to live my life exactly how I want. If you don't like it for whatever reason and you want to judge me, if you want to judge our relationship based on my relationship with somebody else, then fuck you. I don't want you around anyway. So just, I can't stand this moral posturing and this idea that men owe somebody something, or you are automatically beholden to these standards and these guidelines simply because you were born with a dick. I don't buy it.
Yeah. Fuck that noise.
That's my soapbox moment. It's tough to see him like this, man. It's tough to see a guy that wrote a book like this. I mean, look, he still has a lot of right things to say. He's just completely off when it comes to the promiscuity aspect. And it's sad to see him sort of latch on to this trope that just won't die, that men who dislike promiscuity are just insecure. It's just lazy. Man, come up with your own slant, if anything. How derivative can you possibly be?
Men aren't allowed to have standards, and even Dr. Glover saying that you're not allowed to have standards and that you should look past her.
But he's allowed to have standards for you and tell you how
Yeah.
you're allowed to act.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the Courses tab. Newer to the channel? Hit subscribe.